Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another lovely session of Beyond the Sum of Our Parts. As you may have
Yes,
noticed that our friend Trish is not with us. She's decided to do something different and go on a different path. We wish her nothing but the best
yes,
and
so much
straight up
love.
love on that, right? So with that being said, Trish, love you. Enjoy your new journey, all right? And so today's topic of discussion is going to be one that's very interesting to say the best. Very interesting to say the best. It is basically how do you manage, handle, deal with maintaining a current relationship while still keeping the friendship of a past relationship while you're
Right.
in your current relationship. How does that navigate? How do you, the individual, male, female, all of us, how do we go into those kind of spaces and how do we navigate deal insecurities, social norms and expectations of that behavior
Yeah.
and everything. And so for a lot of people, I know for a fact, for a lot of people that I've come across, they cut ties. They don't mess with them. They're dead to them. Even
Red,
though they were
red
the
burn.
goodest people, even
Yeah.
though they were the goodest people and they was friends with them and they was cool with them and they were vibing with them. And when they ended, it was like, nah, you dead to me. I don't talk to you no more. Which is, you know what I mean? I feel like that. I feel like that's kind of harsh, but hey, everybody's got their own way of doing things. I, however, don't I don't operate that way. I maintain a healthy relationship with my past people that I've my past loves and my past exes. I mean, some of them I don't talk to no more, and they don't talk to me no more. That's just that. But for the ones that it was nothing but genuine love there, and we released each other out of that love. Matter of fact, Kevin Gates got something on there on Instagram. Y'all should check it out. Something about it, but it's really dope. But releasing people from your life and still maintaining a good relationship with them and wanting nothing but the best for them, even though they're not with you no more, and still being able to guide them and they guide you, being able to help them and they help you, and still being the best person that they see you and the best person that you see in them. So I generally like and choose to operate and think that way. Now, it doesn't mean everybody has to do it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, but that's just how I operate and move on it. So that's just me. Jordan, how about you?
I think it's a really complicated topic, right? Because intuitively, like have this understanding that we can't love more than one person at a time. So that means that if I break up with somebody, that means that I have to throw them away so that I can focus my attention on this new love. Now, is that a healthy mindset? No, no, it's not. But I feel like as a people, as a culture, that's generally what we've been raised to believe. Like I only have attention focus for this one person. So anybody else from the past, I have to throw them away, right? Um, but I think it really also depends on how the relationship ended. Like you said something that really resonated with me when you were talking about releasing people in love, right? Because a lot of times when relationships end, there isn't that sense of like closure and peace. A lot of times relationships end in like this turmoil, like ripping apart, like this traumatic thing. And I can understand why people don't want to hold on to that person or don't want to be reminded of that relationship. But I think it really plays on the importance of how we begin and how we end relationships in order to say like, okay, yeah, I can still end this relationship and have a healthy relationship with this person, if that makes sense. So like when I think about for myself, like my mindset has shifted drastically on this topic, like drastically, because back in the day, if you would have asked me this, I'd have been like, no, you have lost your whole mind. Throw the whole person away. We're not playing those games. Like I remember I had a partner who had a blanket from a previous partner. And he loved this blanket and it was functional and it kept him warm and it was like all customized for him. I don't care, throw it away. It was from the past person, throw it away. And to this day, they'll still bring up that thing. Like, do you remember that time when you made me throw away that blanket? Yeah, yeah, okay. I was in an unhealthy place. I admit that. But now when I look at it, and we've had this conversation before about the things from our exes and what we do with them. Like for me now, in the place that I'm in now, If you love it, then keep it. The memories that are attached to it are memories. They're not, just because you threw this thing away isn't going to throw the memories away. They're still going to be there.
Yeah.
I think for me back then, it was a reminder of my own insecurities because I don't want this person or any reminder of this person in your life because I'm insecure with who I am and what I'm feeling for myself. Does that make sense?
No, no, it definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like you said, like I said, yo, I so for you and I, we definitely have grown and mature a long way. And it's not for the faint of heart, it's not for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, you had to grow into this being, you had to grow into understanding that just because y'all not together doesn't mean it's like, nah, throw the whole person away. And for
Right.
me, it was always like, I still got stuff from relationships like 4 or 5 years ago. And you know what I'm saying? I remember the good times, and I mean it's that, but it doesn't change my outlook or how I feel about the current person I'm with. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a reminder that I still deserve to be treated good and I deserve to be loved. I mean, that chapter between me and that individual is closed as a romantic partner,
Right.
but the things I've learned and the things they taught me will still
Right.
always be carried over into the new person that I will be with. And the new person I'm going to be with will benefit, and the person they're going to be with will benefit from our experience together. And I try to like be in a relationship with people where when we end on a good term. When we leave, we walk away, but not only the things that we shared and the love that we've given each other
Right.
and the kindness, but then also knowledge to understand that we deserve to be loved and we deserve to be treated the way that we've treated each other, even though we're not together. We just still deserve to be treated this way by other people that are going to be occupying our space in this romantic moment.
But
And
that takes a lot of maturity.
it, it takes a lot of maturity, yeah, but then it also takes not only that, but it also takes I fighting the inner demon or the person that makes your inner self that makes you feel like you ain't worthy of that, or the
Mm.
inner person that makes you want to wait for the shoe to drop.
Right.
You're waiting for that negativity, that negative response. That it's like that saying when you pull the rubber band, the further you pull it back, the further you pull it back, and then it's good, everything's going good, and then bam, you get smacked in the face, and it hurts, it stings, it
Yeah.
hurts. It's like the worst feeling ever. And so a lot of us pretty much operate in that sense. And then for a lot of people that are insecure in those relationships, it's like, oh, you got this jacket from this dude? Nah, throw that away. Oh, she got you this? Nah, throw that
Right.
away. It's like, nah, bro. And I tell people, I'm not a jealous person about that. I'm not upset. Now, I'm not gonna front though. I'm not gonna be like, yo, go stay the night with somebody that you used to kick it with. That's just out of pocket. But I understand if y'all have lunch or whatever, y'all have lunch. Y'all still cool people. Y'all adults. If you
Right.
wanted to be with him and he wanted to be with you, I would not be here right now. You
Right.
wouldn't have chose me. I wouldn't have chose you.
Right.
So I'm confident and secure in my position with you until you prove to me otherwise.
Right.
So when it comes to like dating people and understanding the fact that the person I was once with still plays a role in me that you love is because I learned from them the things that you like about me. They opened up doors about myself that you find attractive to me, that you find appealing. So in this essence, you have to still be. It's like paying homage to a rapper who opened the doorways for everything else, the whole game. You paying homage to the people that did the people that you currently with good for them to basically be in the right mental, emotional state to basically give you the love that you so deserve, desire, and that makes you happy because the past person they was with helped them become the person that they are now to the point where they make you feel this way, where they played a role in teaching them how
Right.
to be a good girlfriend or a good wife and things of that nature. We taking these lessons from the past people that we was with and we carrying it on with us to make us the best version of ourselves for the next person that we may be with that can benefit from that. And always, and it's like paying it forward in a relationship. Always treat people good. and you don't worry about the negativity or the outcome of possible breakup. Everything has a time limit.
Mm.
Expires. Everything expires. Some people, we all want to control the expiration date, but we can't control it. People may fall in and out of love. Some people may just die.
Mm.
And you know what I'm saying? Everything has an expiration. But the most important thing is dealing with the love that was given to you at that moment, and remembering how good it felt and how wonderful it is to feel that way. And when it's up, it's up. Just take it with you and apply it to something else. Apply it to yourself. Keep growing, keep learning, keep becoming the best person, the best version of yourself. And then, if in the time comes, you apply it to somebody else. You do the same thing. They gonna build you, you build them. Always try to get with somebody that's trying to build you up while you building yourself up.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we can build ourselves up, but it's always good. It's always good, 100, to be with somebody that wants the best for you, that want to leave you off at a good point in
Right.
your life. It don't matter. Like, we can't look at, oh no, what is it that this that. It's like how a person makes you feel, they treat you good. That's what you're getting from it. And their goal is to pretty much in the relationship is to pretty much get everybody to be elevated. No, oh, you ain't never gonna have somebody that better than me. This, that, and the
Mm.
third. That mentality ain't good. That mentality is toxic. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I for one don't like it. I always encourage any woman to, like, get with somebody that's gonna treat you better than how I treated you. Because I never treated them bad, but I want them to level up.
Level
You know
up.
what I'm saying? Level up. It ain't that I treated you bad. It's just that how I treated you is how I can treat you. If they're not treating you how I treat you, then they gotta treat you better than that, not
Mm.
less. You know what I'm saying? They gotta love you. They can either love you the same way I loved you, or more. They can't give you less than what I gave you. They should not, and
So
vice
then,
versa.
going back to maintaining the relationships with your exes, you had mentioned something about ending relationships and releasing them in love. Like, can you talk a little bit more about how you go about peaceably hmm, ending relationships so that you can be in that place of moving forward in love?
Nah, yo, but to be honest with you though, I heard it from Kevin Gates. Like, my cousin sent me something on Instagram. I'm listening to it, and it was like really dope. And I was like, yo, that's right though. And it's like, I love you, so I release you with love. And that's what he said. And I was like, yo, essentially that's what I do. So it's like I've never had a breakup where it's like, we're cussing each other out. We're like, F you, this, that, and the third. It's always like, yo, I'm sorry. This ain't working out. I'm not feeling this way for you anymore. And I do love you. I do care for you, and I do want the best for you, but I can't fully be myself with you. I'm not happy, and I can tell that it's affecting you. Although you're happy, but I'm not, and I feel
Right.
like I need to part. And it's hard for a lot of people to take that, because especially when one person is happy and somebody else isn't,
Right.
everybody wants to jump into, what did I do wrong? How can I change? It's not about changing. It's about, you know, that individual's time with you it has come up. Even though you want it to be forever and everlasting, it's just unfortunately that individual's time with you has expired.
Right.
And it was like in my in my breakup that happened not too long ago. It was like, yo, I love you. I do want to be with you, but I can't be myself while I'm with you, and I can't do the things that I need to do to grow.
Right.
So I have to let you go in order for that to happen. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie, that stung, but I understood it. And you came to me and you told me that. And so all I can do is wish you nothing but the best in your
Right.
journey, and make
Right.
sure if there's anything I can do to help you get there, I'm gonna do that for you. Because I'm always gonna have love to you. Because you did nothing but respect me and love me. And you came at me the right way and you did it to me. And then so fast forward, talking to somebody else, and we moving, we going with the motions, just going, and then the conversation starts to fade away. It's getting distant. It's coming, like, what I mean, I know it's coming, but I'm not gonna make that move. They need to make that move, because this is an individual who's, oh, when I'm done with you, you're dead to me. I'm
Mm.
like, but we ain't do nothing wrong for this to happen.
Right, right.
I can't make that move because then I become the villain. So now I gotta have you make the move. So they finally make the move, right? And it was just like, yo, you're a good person, but we're just two different people. And I was like, yeah, I know it's coming. And you know what? Thank you for that. And you're a wonderful woman. And I hope the gifts that I got you, you don't like toss them in a box or whatever and be like, F
Right,
that. They're dead to
right,
me. Nah, because it's like, it came from a place of love because I wanted you to feel like you deserve these things, not out apologetically.
right,
Oh, I bought you this because I messed up, which that didn't take place. But that's what they came from. And it wasn't like, oh, I bought you this because I'm trying to show off. It's I bought you this because one, you needed it at the time, and two, I bought this with thought and feelings of carefulness and growth for you, and so that's why I gave it to you. I
right.
want you to remember that whenever you look at this ring or this earpiece or these earrings or whatever, it came from a person of love who basically says that you are worthy of love and you deserve someone to treat you and make you feel like you are a priority, like you are important, like you do matter to them.
Right.
And so keep those items, man. Rock that. Wear that. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, just understand it all came from a good place. Ain't nothing came from like a jealous move. Ain't nothing came on a flex move or nothing like that. It's just, I wanted you to feel that way. And so thank you for allowing us to have this conversation and part ways on a good note. I got nothing but love for you. And if you need to talk about anything anytime, just feel free to hit me up. I'm gonna be there for you.
Right.
I may not be there like directly right away, but I'll definitely get back to you though.
You won't have as much access, but you still have the door isn't slammed and locked, right?
Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go. You can knock on the door, you just can't open it whenever you want. That's it.
Right, right, right.
That's
You
it.
don't have the key, but
Yeah,
you can.
exactly. So it's
Right.
like, yeah, so it's that kind of move, it's that kind of motion I move towards to where I've been in situations where other people it's like, nah, you got to cut that loose, or nah, you got to throw that away, and this is where most people feel like I may be a jerk. And I'm like, no. Oh, so it's between me and them. Listen, well, to be fair, they was here before you,
Mm.
so now it's like, what do you want me to do? They were here before you.
Yeah, and but a lot of people will say they were here before me, but I'm here now.
Yeah,
And
and
so I should
and
take priority. There's
no.
this hierarchy.
No, and you're right. You're here now, so let's keep it moving. The past is the past. You're
Right.
focusing on something that you have no control over. That's already done. The only control that you do have now is the present and the future. You choose the latter. Do you want to focus on now and the future, or do you want to focus on the past? And if the past you want to focus on what you were not involved in, then by all means, this relationship cannot go any further because you're hanging on something that is not
Right. You're
currently
not living right
about
now.
growth.
Right.
We can't go back what was already done. So
Right.
let's keep it moving. Like, I mean, if I hang on to something that's important to me that make me feel special from somebody else, then so be it. That's just that. I hang on to it because it came from a good place. These are good people, and obviously, you want good people to be a part of the person's life that you care about. So whatever, whatever, if they even were a past lover or not, it don't matter because it's all about elevating.
And I feel like so going back to ending relationships peacefully, like the things that came up in everything you were saying, one of the biggest things is closure. So being able to have that conversation, communicating effectively, like, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm seeing. I feel like our relationship isn't going where I need it to go, right? And being able to give that person and yourself that sense of closure, having that effective communication, but also being self aware enough to be able to say, this relationship isn't serving me. So, how do I move on to the next level, right? And then that last part of what you said was allowing people the power to choose what's best for them, not staying in a relationship. And we talked about this before, not staying in a relationship just because it checks the box or just because you feel obligated or just because whatever, but actually doing what is best for you and your growth, right? But then with that, okay, so now you've ended the relationship peacefully, but of course, at some point there was like that sexual tension, that sexual connection, or maybe there wasn't, and maybe that's why you ended the relationship and this doesn't apply. But for all the other relationships that this does apply to, right? How do
Yeah.
you navigate that we had this sexual experience. I can't forget it. I can't erase it.
Hmm.
Like, does that still come up?
I mean, it does come up. It definitely does come up, though. And the one thing I will say to this is that it's like for both individuals, you got to go with the respect boundaries. Like we had sex, it was awesome, it was great. You with somebody, I'm with somebody. That's
Okay.
it. That was you know what I'm
Right.
saying? We ain't gonna hurt nobody new. We ain't gonna make anything
Right.
turmoil or crazy.
Right.
That portion is in the past. Let's leave it there. You feel me? Talk about it, whatever. That's fine. But at the end of the day, the person I'm with will always come before you because they who I'm with now.
Right.
And if one individual doesn't understand or respect that, then they are no longer allowed to come even knock on the door
Right.
of that friendship or that closeness because you don't respect my
Boundaries.
growth.
Right.
You don't respect my growth of trying to be and try to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's wrong when you're trying to like we had our chapter, we had our fun, and it's wrong to come back and try to disrupt something new.
Right.
And when you're doing that kind of disruption, you're not only hurting, and it's selfish. You're hurting multiple people. You're hurting multiple people. The one you're with, the one that you was with, and the new one that they're with. So it's like, yeah, that's chaotic and that's messy, and that's never good. So, and the sexual tension is there. Now, if you single and it's still there, I mean, hey,
Go with it.
hey, you feel me? Birds gotta fly, fish gotta swim. You know what I mean? Somebody gotta get some cutting. I don't know what to tell you. You know, get it, man. Get it. Enjoy yourself. The love is there. It may not be the same. Just enjoy it until you come. Just enjoy it until something reconnects with you. It may not be the
Right.
same person. It could be with somebody different. I've been in situations where I reopened the box of sexual exploitation with the last person I was with, and I've done that, and it was good until it wasn't. When it ended, it's either I was in a relationship with somebody else or they was in a relationship with somebody else. Hey, thank you. Be easy. That's it.
Right.
Bless you. Now they would hit me up every now and again and talk about their relationship. I'm like, all right, cool. What's going on? This is where it's different because now it's like you're talking to me about somebody that you're currently with, and we used to f. So now this is where the character development comes in on both parts. How do you assist in them in that situation? Are you
Right.
are you the male or the female that's like bump them, get with me? Or are you the helping
Right.
person that wants to see them
Or are you an
continue to be
actual
happy?
friend? Right.
Or you an actual friend? Because an actual friend finna be like, well, maybe you should talk to them. Maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try that. Don't give up on it because you they're this, that, and the third. You try to help them find a way around their situation because clearly
Right.
all things it's gotten to a point where they gotta holler at an ex to basically help them understand their new situation. And so there ain't nothing wrong with that. You just gotta be wary that when you make that connection, it's a good connection with somebody who still wants you to be great, even though you're not with them.
Right.
They're always your
Right.
biggest cheerleader, even though you're not with them. They always gonna applaud you at your greatness, even though you're not with them.
And I think that's one of the most important things to remember is just because you may want to maintain a relationship with your ex doesn't mean that that person is capable, and this goes back to our last podcast, holding space, doesn't mean that that person is capable of being in that role, because
Hmm.
maybe you feel a sense of closure, but that person may still be like, no, I still got some unfinished business I'm trying to handle, and you shut the door in my face, right? So being
Yeah.
mindful, not just of your feelings, but also making sure that that's what that other person wants and that they're genuine.
Yeah, no, and it goes back to the communication. It's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna always leave the option for you to hit me up, and if you take up on it, then that's cool. We can have a healthy friendship relationship. But if you say no, ain't nothing I can do for you. If I run into you in the store, I'm gonna say what's up. If I see you on
Right.
social media and we still social media friends, I'm not gonna go in deep. I'm gonna just hit like. That's it.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, I mean, but just hit like, and if you like my joint too, that's cool. But I'm not finna like go into depth with it. I'm not finna hit you up and have a full on conversation because I know where we left off at, and we not
Right.
like that no more. And then every now and again, I may come across a person that's like, nah, I'm gonna block you and delete you from everything.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
usually the trends.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna cut all ties related to you, your family, your friends, the people we linked up with together. They gonna either choose you or me, or we done. I'm like, yo,
Right.
I ain't mad at you, because that's how you feel. And so at the end of the day, what we had was good. I know for a fact I left you on a good spot. Well, at least I felt, at least in my mind, I left you in a good place, or at least
Right.
attempted to leave you in a good mental place. You know what I mean? And I got nothing in return for it, but it's okay though. That's my character. It's like I don't do it expecting something in return. I do. The only thing the only thing I want reciprocated is the respect.
Right.
It's it. Respect me. It's it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I saw another quote my cousin had sent me as well. It was like a guy doing something for his lady, and somebody's like, "Yo, what does she do for you? What does she bring to the table? Don't worry about all that. Continue to be the best person that you are, and continue to elevate that person. There's clearly something going good here because I'm elevating them, and they providing something for me to continue to want to elevate them. That energy, that connection, that bond that we have. We're all coming from a hurt place in relationships where we've all at some point been cheated on. We've all at some point been deceived, and we've all at some point been, crushed and lied to. So now, whenever somebody's genuinely trying to be kind to us and good to us, we waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah,
We
that part.
looking, we look, we looking for that. We looking for that negativity. That it sounds good, but I don't believe it.
Right.
And so this is where you got some people that either they run away from it, or you got some people that test it just so they could say, "I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were all lies." And it's just like no matter what you do, they're gonna find a way to try and test that button to make sure they hit that right button. They hitting all the buttons. It's like, oh, he ain't jump yet. Oh, she ain't acting up yet. Hold on, let me see. Let me
But
see.
that's a trauma response. It really is. I feel like everything comes back to trauma. But it really is. Like
No, it
I'm
is. It
so
is.
used to people not meeting my expectations that I am expecting you to not meet my expectations. So let me help you along.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. And even when you go back to cutting ties, a lot of times that's the only way that people know how to cope with that sense of, because for a lot of people, and I was talking with somebody about this the other day, a lot of people, it's a sense of rejection. We broke up. Yes, we may have broken up on good mutual terms, but it's still this feeling of rejection or failure or whatever. And so I'm going to cut ties. I'm going to burn all the bridges because out of sight, out of mind. I don't have to think about you. I don't have to think about the failure. I don't have to think about the heartache. I don't have to think about all this stuff. I just want to pretend like it didn't happen and move on. And I think that's part of the reason why so many people can't maintain relationships with their exes, because they're not doing the work to really process, okay, why is this person my ex? What did I learn? What did I gain from this relationship and from this experience?
Yeah, and it's crazy though. It's like when you talk to people, and that I always find that the quote unquote, how everybody's like red flag. When I ask people, yo, what is it that you learned from your last relationship? Nothing. I learned nothing.
Yeah. They did all this stuff to me. I was just there.
Hey,
Everything happens to me.
and so when I hear something like that, I'm just like, yeah, dang man, you look so hot, but you ain't all there, bro. You ain't all there for me. Like I can't in good conscience mess with you because you gonna drain the life out of me with this
Oh,
negativity, mindset. It's like, so you telling me you've been with a person for 3, 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, and you in that entire time, now you no longer with this person. You've learned nothing,
not about them, not about the world, not about yourself, nothing.
nothing,
There's
nothing
no awareness whatsoever. Yes.
whatsoever. And I'm like, can you imagine going to high school or college and doing all
Saying I learned nothing.
nothing, nothing to apply
Right.
to life in this world at all. Period. Nothing.
Right.
I'm like, bruh, them student loans, boy, that's a heavy student loan bill to pay for nothing in
That
return.
is the perfect analogy though, because you have the burden of that student loan, that trauma, that weight of that relationship. but like you said, there was nothing gained, nothing learned, nothing increased from that
How do you walk
experience.
away? Like, but how do you walk away not learning anything? Like,
Yep.
that's a lot of, and it's like that's a lot of time to be putting into
Yeah.
somebody and not like being attentive to the fact that
Right.
something like that is very strong. You can't just basically try to start a relationship with somebody and then say you didn't learn anything from your past relationship. That's dangerous. That's really dangerous. Who thinks that's okay is just like that's not okay. That's not an okay thing to do. That's a questionable action in an offense in its own mind and its own. That's
Yeah.
okay. It's just like
Right.
yeah. So it's like all of that is just a little bit of a different thing. I'm not ignoring. I'm just checking our comments to see if anybody's saying anything about it because
Oh.
we want people to engage in this because this is a really
Yes,
good one.
join the conversation. I want to hear about people's experience with exes.
Yes.
Like, I want to hear it all. I remember, and I can speak from experience on this one. In a relationship, I had a partner who was still in a relationship or had a relationship with their ex. But the problem that I had with it was that the ex didn't respect boundaries.
Yeah.
So she was sending naked pictures and trying to get back with this person. And though this person didn't want anything to do with her, they also didn't say, "This is my boundary and you're overstepping it." So, me as the new person, I'm like, "Oh, there must be something going on. This is not healthy. This is not," so then I go into crazy girl mode. But it's a prime example of the unhealthy version of having relationships with your exes. You have to be able to, one, that other person, both of you have to be in an agreement that we are exes, our relationship is something different, we're moving forward, these
Hmm.
are what the boundaries are, and there is a sense of respect not just for me but my new relationship, just like you had mentioned, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like in a situation like that, you gotta ask yourself too. It's like, yo, oh, like what made you think that was okay to do that though? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if that's your relationship dynamic, then so be it. Communicate that. Communicate that to the person that has the issue because clearly they have the issue because they're not knowing where they thinking one you're allowing them to think one thing and it's really not.
Right,
So
it's a miscommunication. You're telling me you and this person are nothing, but
hmm
obviously this person has a different understanding because they're treating you like it's something, right?
hmm
And so as the person on the other side, it's like, okay, so what's really going on? Like, that's not just my insecurity. Like, there is more to it than that, right?
hmm
But again, that it comes back down to effective communication on all parts for all parties involved, and healthy boundaries and having that sense of respect. But then the question that I have is, why would you want to maintain a relationship with your exes? Is there a benefit to it? Like,
Mm. Why would I want to maintain a healthy relationship with the next? Because they're my friend. They're my friend. In a world where friends are very few, far in between,
right,
but genuinely, when a person is your friend, they're your friend. In your past relationship, if they really turn out to be your friend, they're gonna be your friend.
right,
They're gonna want you to be happy, even if it's not with them.
right,
And that's and they're gonna want to see you grow, and that's very important.
right,
That's a friend. That's a friend. Like I'm not gonna cut you off because if you're not about helping me grow, level up, being better than myself, then no, of course I'm not gonna keep you around like that. You're gonna be lost in the wind. But if you're a friend, you're gonna always be like, "Yo, listen, I saw this thing, thought about you. You should definitely go for it. Or you got this skill and that skill. I believe in you." Yo, I rocks with that because you
right.
know what I'm saying. I had to catch myself. I had to catch myself. No, but
Say
I
it.
rocks with it. You know what I'm saying? I rocks with that. That's my friend. I can't shy from. I can't like disrupt a friendship of somebody caring for me, and the person that's in the current relationship with me should understand that that's my friend. They care for me that much in that way.
I think the question comes in, if they're still your friend, then why aren't you in a relationship with them?
because our time is gone. We're
Right.
two different. We're growing. We're growing. We're just not growing together. We're growing apart. I'm
Right.
not gonna stay with you while I'm growing, and we're not. It's like we can go on two different paths and still maintain
Right.
the
Recognizing
relationship.
that we have a connection, it just doesn't mean that our connection is meant to be romantic.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Right.
it's like, and in some cases, people can grow apart, and our connection romantically can still. We can still be in a relationship romantically and still grow apart, but we still are romantically entwined with each other.
Right.
And we're still on the same vision and the same goal of our greatness and what we want for each other.
Right.
Me, I had one person that was like, religion is a big thing for them. I'm a spiritual person. I don't do church. They do. I'm not going. But that's a big
Right.
thing. That's what you want. And at the end of the day, go find that person that's going to give you that
Right.
thing.
Right.
I can meet you everywhere else but that area. But if that's the
Right.
most important thing for you, go get that person that can give you that and everything else I'm also giving you because
Right.
you deserve that. Because it's important to you. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I don't care for you. It doesn't mean I don't respect you. I just know that's not for me. And I'm
Right.
not going to conform. I'm not going to do something that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not happy with just to make sure you happy and you please. No, I'm going to support you. I'm going to
Right.
support you and rock with you. If you want to pray, I'm going to pray with you. You want me to go to church? I'll go once a month. But if that's not enough for you, there ain't nothing I can say. But hey, go ahead and knock that out. Go ahead and get with somebody else that's going to give you that. You know what I mean? And
I
there's other
think.
people.
Go ahead.
Nah, nah. I was just gonna say, and then there's other people where it's a bunch of different scenarios of why the relationship didn't work out. But it was
Right.
like one thing after another. We're two different people. Of course, we're two different people. Or I love it. You're too intense. That's who I am.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I can't be anything else but myself. But then your
Right.
your mind and your heart and your soul is telling you I'm not the one for you. All right, cool. I get it. As much as I want to be with you, but if it's not right, then it's not right. Just let it go.
Right.
But if it feels like it's right and you fighting it, then you need to ask yourself why you fighting it and question and do the work and finding out why you fighting it because you deserve a good thing. But then you got those that want to stick to the social norms and expectations, behavior, and mentality of how
But
they want to
that
do
goes
things.
back to like I truly believe that there are different types of love and connection. Like I believe there are like seven different types of love and connection. Like you can love and be connected to somebody because you guys share a mission. You share like a goal, a purpose. You can love and connect somebody because you guys share an emotional connection. You guys share a sexual connection. You guys share a mental connection. Like there are different ways to love and connect with people. And I think it's up to us when we're navigating our relationships, whether that's romantic or otherwise, to be able to have the sense of self-awareness to say this person meets this connection need, and that is why this is the type of relationship I'm going to build with them. And so that goes back to being able to say this person doesn't meet my need in order to create a romantic relationship, but it doesn't mean that we still don't have a connection. We're still not mentally vibing, or we're still not we go out and do fun things together. Like you can have a relationship with somebody and it not be romantic anymore, but still value that relationship, that sense of connection.
I agree. However, though, it's like it is a stone in the middle of a river
Okay. Meaning.
that the stone, the boulder in the middle of the river,
Mm,
peeking out like this, and everybody else is going against it at all. It's not flowing. It's full of rip currents and all that things, and people are crashing things and stuff like that are crashing
right.
into it. So what you're saying is it's true. It's awesome. It's great. But in the world we live in, that social norm and expectations
It's
behavior doesn't
heavy.
allow anybody to operate or think in that way. Because you
Right.
could say, "Oh, I stimulate your mind mentally, but I can't rock with you sexually. The sex game is off." Yo, Ain't nobody gonna take that very well. Or the sex game between us is so awesome, but mentally I'm bored.
But that goes back to understanding that there is no one person that is going to meet every single one of your needs. That's heavy. That's
No,
exhausting.
once again, it is exhausting. I agree. I agree. Very much agree. And the only and and for the people out there that still believe it, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say it like this: it's exhausting only because it's not with the right person. It's only exhausting because it's not with the right person. Trust me, I get it. I've been with the people that's yo boy. I'm gonna take you up through there. This is good, but yeah, I'm not gonna watch that show with you. I'm sorry, we're not on the same page. That's like no, that's trash TV. I'm not doing that with you. Yeah, we can't even have a good conversation about that. But when the doors close, boy, it's all good and plenty. But that's about it. Dinner is just there's no substance mentally.
Right.
There's
Right.
no
There's no
substance.
mental stimulation. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's no emotional stimulation. So then it's like,
Right.
okay, I'm not gonna stay with you. I'm not.
Right.
You may feel fulfilled. I'm not. So
Right. That
now
self-awareness part. Right.
that's self awareness. So now we separate. Now I got somebody who doesn't like it, but then now how do they deal with that breakup because we're not on the same page. We're not there, and it takes a lot of effort, right? But then there's a person that you like. Then now there's another person I love. We're around each other, chemistry all day, all that. You're great, everything great, but they're hanging on with trauma from the past. So how do you navigate with that? That's a different thing. But that's something that's possible to work with, right? But then I got another person, right? Love them all day, everything's good, but the sex is trash, so trash,
Goodness.
just so awful. But they're a great person, loving, caring. We kick it. We could talk about anything. We got the same things in common. But when it comes to the bedroom, I'm yawning while I'm in stroke mode. Like, what do you do?
But that's that effective communication, being able to say there we have a vibe is just not vibing in this area, or not even bringing that up and maybe just pulling back and focusing on you. We
Yeah.
have a vibe. I appreciate our vibe. Can we just pull it back and be friends? Like you don't even have to bring up
And then
sex
this
is
is
trash.
and then this is where you come in. Now I've been single for a very long time. And then this is where you come into that situation is anybody saying they just want to be friends. They just want sex. They're not looking for anything serious. It's not that I'm not looking for anything serious. We just not
With
lining
you.
up. We not.
Yeah.
We're like
But that's okay. But
we just,
that goes back to last conversation. People not accepting the truth. Like you don't have to be my everything. Our relationship isn't going to be always sunshine and rainbows and perfect. Like the reality is this is not meeting my need. But instead of people being able to accept, okay, this connection isn't for me, let me go find one that is, we get offended and we hold on to that offense instead of taking it as a, okay, this thing wasn't meant for me, so I'm gonna move on to the thing that is. I It's like if it's meant for you, it's for you. If it's not, why are you mad about it?
once again, it took you and me a long time to come to the understanding point.
Yes, I know.
Oh my god. Oh my
But
god.
again, that comes back to that place of self-awareness. Like I'm not going to force myself into a situation that I don't fit in. It just
No.
doesn't make any sense to me. Like this situation isn't fitting, it's not feeling right. So why am I going to keep forcing it? So I don't feel rejected, so my feelings don't get hurt.
So your feelings don't get hurt, so that person doesn't feel bad, and you remain being the nice guy, or the
Right.
nice or the nice lady, or the nice person, or whatever gender neutral
But why
term you
is
want to use.
recognizing that this situation is not for me or not meeting my needs, why does that make you a bad person?
Again. Somebody has to be the villain.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate because it's like if everybody thought this way, the world would be a lot more easier. But the way everything is, it's full of excitement and it's messy.
Yeah.
And so you gotta
Yes.
navigate through the messiness. Nothing is
Yeah.
ever going to be perfect. So getting with somebody and having them think that, or having them feel like the relationship is going to be one full of like greatness and love and all of that. That's the ideal, right?
Right.
We want that. I speak of it with great passion and vision, and when I project it when I'm talking to somebody to the point where they're eating it up like it's catnip or it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Tapioca pudding, whatever kind of pudding they like or whatever, and they're
Okay.
eating it up. And so as they're eating it up, they're envisioning themselves to be in that person for me. And then when it's all said and done, something somewhere down the line doesn't line up.
Right.
Now they've already fell in love with the idea, but to me, there is a disconnect, and they still feel the connection. I don't feel the connection,
Right.
and it's the truth. I don't feel the connection. Am I in love with you? No. Do I love you as a person? Yes. But
Right.
they're not going to ask those questions because they don't want to know the truth. Because to them, knowing the truth will ruin their whole entire life.
Rejection.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people get rejection. Rejection is hard though. So
Yeah.
and then and then it's like that's when that whole thing is. Oh, I'm done with you. Don't talk to me ever again.
Right. You don't
But
exist in my
you
world.
don't exist. You're in my world. We're done. And
Yeah.
so those are the relationships I don't maintain because shit done happened already. Done got to that point. You know what I mean? It's different. It's very interesting and it's different. So everybody's always the world is messy. The world is messy. Love is messy.
Love is
Really,
messy.
love is messy. It's never neat. It's never neat. And
So then,
we
go
try to
ahead.
make it, but no, we try to make it neat, but it's not. That's all I want to say.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And so then my question again, another question. So if you're the person on the other side of that, like your partner is in a relationship or has maintains a relationship with their ex, what like tips do you have for navigating that?
Um, for me, I would tell any guy like in that situation, just remember, they chose you. They could have chose anybody else. They could have been talking to anybody else. Before y'all became a couple, before anything was done, there was late night conversations. There was dinners. There was dates. There was texts.
Right.
All of that. At the end of the day, they still chose you. And that person that was their ex was still there. So, needless to say, if they wanted to be with them, they would be with them. They
Right.
chose you. And you yourself have to be confident in knowing that they chose you. And if you're not confident in that, then by all means, why are you with that person?
Right. And that really comes back down to one, being able to check your insecurities, being able to effectively communicate them. Like, this is, triggering me. It's making me feel some kind of way. Um, Being able to verbalize that and having a partner that says, I feel you. How can I support you? Because this relationship is going to be here, but how can we work through this? Right. But then also being able to check not only your insecurities, but your jealousy, which is stemming from your insecurity. So when you're feeling like acting in some kind of jealous way, being able to communicate that this thing makes me feel like doing this thing over here. So how can we, right?
It's
That
the
communication part. Yeah.
it's the communication part, but then it's also it's very hard too because it also requires a great deal of self discipline and putting your pride to the
Self
side. Because
awareness.
it's very hard because you gotta put that male pride, that female pride. You gotta put
Right.
and when I say put it to the side, I don't mean blatantly let somebody disrespect you or come out their face to you or treat
Right.
you or to make you feel like you ain't nobody. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that having that conversation is respect. A person not trying to have that conversation is no respect because the relationship is here. It ain't going anywhere. They here. They not going anywhere. You can feel all the type of way you want. They not going anywhere.
Right.
So you have to be okay with that. And if you not, I'm sorry. I really want this to work out. But if it's a problem for you, it will always be a problem for you. And if you feel like, oh, I've been with you for 4 or 5 years and I feel like this is the one thing that's holding us back, it's not holding me back, it's holding you back. Because then I'm
Right.
going to ask you, why does it bother you? Do I not make you? Is everything that I'm doing for you not enough
Right.
to the point for you
Right.
to focus on that? That my relationship, my friendship relationship with someone else, that clearly I'm not alone with 24/7. I'm not
Right.
alone with 7 days a week. I don't talk to as much as I talk to you. So what is it about them that makes you feel the way that you feel? You have to want to internalize that yourself and have that work done on yourself with yourself about that, because there's nothing I can do to fix that, because if it's not this, it's going to be something else, and then if it's
Right.
not that, it's going to be something else, then it's going to be something else, then it's going to be something else, then it's going to be to the point where we no longer can I can no longer stand you and you can no
Right.
longer stand me, and we can no longer tolerate each other. I'm catching the patterns before it starts.
And there's a
And
lot of people. Go ahead.
no, no. Catching the pattern before it starts. And if you want to stay with us, you want us to still be together, we got to put in the work of self reflection and why we feel the way that we feel.
Right.
That's it.
There are a lot of people that feel like, out of respect for me, you need to end this relationship. But for me, I don't feel like that's respect. I feel like
Nope.
that's control.
Yep.
And it goes back to, again, like what you were saying, like, what is it about this thing that makes you feel? But there are so many people that believe that. Like, I was talking to somebody and they were like, well, because you were intimate with this person, that connection I feel like is disrespectful. So you can talk to somebody you're not intimate with, but y'all have this super high sexual tension and you want to be intimate with that person, and that's okay because y'all never had sex before, but can't connect with somebody because we've been intimate. Like, I feel like those are the same things. Like,
No,
if
no,
there's a
they are.
connection, there's a connection. It doesn't
They-
matter whether you've acted on it or not. There's a connection, right?
Yeah, it's like a person, and I've heard people say that too. It's like it's a disrespect to you. Well, then I guess you're gonna. And this is where the savagery of me coming. Well, I guess you're gonna feel disrespect. Yo, say yo, this is where the savagery comes into
Sit in
me.
your disrespect.
You gonna soak in that. You gonna soak in that mug, and you gonna drink it too. And I'm gonna be like
Oh.
this. You see the juice
Oh
I'm
gosh.
drinking? You see the juice
Yeah,
I'm drinking?
the
It's
baby poop.
awful. It's awesome. It's awful. But I'm gonna drink it and look at you. This is awful, but I know what I'm taking. I know what I'm drinking. How about you?
But it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Drink
What
it.
are you drinking? What are you drinking? Bitterness, saltiness.
Right.
Okay. Cool. You go ahead and you go ahead and drink that. Cause no, cause the person ain't going nowhere. That's not a disrespect. What's disrespectful is you want me to leave, stop a connection with somebody who helped me be the person
Right.
that you love today, who
Right.
played a role in the person that you like and enjoy being with today. Nah, nah, we good. We good. They like I don't understand. Like seriously, why do you feel that way? Ask yourself, internalize why do you feel that way? If I'm with you 24/7, if I'm talking to you every day, if I'm with you every day,
Right.
I make you a priority.
Focus on
I'm
our
doing
connection.
all focus on ours and maintaining that.
Right.
Everybody else ain't your problem. Just like everybody else on your side ain't my problem.
Right.
It becomes my problem when it disrupts our dynamic. And dynamic mean you ain't putting me first. You're
Right.
not making me feel like I'm first. You're making me feel like I'm set. You're making me feel like I'm third.
Right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
that comes back to the boundaries part of it. Like, if we're in a relationship, you have an ex, and every time your ex calls, you're leaving our quality time to go talk to your ex. Like,
Nah.
that's a boundary thing, right?
Yeah.
That's
Nah.
impacting our dynamic, right?
Nah. I hit you with a yo. You good? Yeah, I'm all right. All right. Cool. I'm
Right.
with my lady. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where that effective communication on all fronts comes into play, and having that respect not only for yourself, but for your new relationship. Being able to say, this is my priority. Yes, we have a friendship. I love you. I appreciate you. But this right here is a priority.
Yeah, and it's like, so let's just say we chilling, right? And then you hit me up and you got a question or you need a favor done where I can either Google it, text it for you, this, that, and the third. If I can handle it within less than 5 minutes and it doesn't disrupt what I got going on, you gonna have to wait until I'm done. That's all it is. And if you can't wait, then hey, figure it out yourself.
Right.
Ain't no difference. But if you finna try to make me feel bad about it, now you tripping. Now you tripping. 'Cause
Right.
now you must have forgot your place. And it sounds harsh, but you must have forgot your place. You are no longer top billing. You're no longer first. So you really need to check yourself at this point, because we can either still be friends or we can be acquaintances. And if we're acquaintances, that means we social media friends only, right?
Mm.
You hit me up on the book only. That's it. You may hit me up on Snap, and good thing I got Snap. When you hit me up on Snap, I'll get to it when I get to it. You know what I mean? Straight
So you
up.
you create a hierarchy. Current
Yes.
relationship at the top, everybody else trickles in where they trickle in.
Yeah. Nah, don't get me wrong. Nah, like I said, I got one that's like, yo, you hit me up, yo, I'm gonna come through for you. I'm also gonna bring my girl with me because she's with me at the time, so obviously. But I'm not gonna be like, no, no, let me drop you off first. No, come with me because this is my friend. You know what I mean? You're my friend. She's my lady. I'm gonna go help out a friend. All right,
Right.
cool. Now, if you ask me, did y'all sleep together? Yeah, you're my friend. She's my friend. What? I'm sorry.
Right.
Have
But it's not,
not.
are we currently? No.
There we go. There
Right.
we go. How long ago did y'all sleep together? I think it was like I think it was like high school or something, or 2012. I mean, what year is it right now? 2023. Eight
Right.
years. 8 years ago. Right,
Right.
bro. You
Right.
harboring over something over 8 years ago, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's got something to do with you.
That
And you
insecurity.
you
Yeah.
need to check yourself. I ain't nothing to do about that.
Right.
There's nothing. Literally, there's nothing that can be said or done to help
Right.
all that. And then it's like, so here's a question: how do you like so as a single person doing it, right? How do people that have children do it?
Like with their co-parents?
Hmm.
Well, and that's part of the complicated part, because there are some co-parents that don't have relationships. Their relationships are very toxic and unhealthy, and they have that same mentality, like, you're gone, you're not in our lives anymore, you are dead to me. Don't talk to me unless it has something to do with the children. Like, literally, that's it, right? But then there are some people, like with my son's father, we have a fairly healthy relationship. Like, we don't sit and kiki on the phone, but we have a relationship where, like, if something were to come up, we could have a conversation. We could be in a shared space and not feel all weird and awkward. Now that took a lot of work, because we were originally those first set of people, like, don't talk to me unless it has something to do with the child. The child has their own phone. You don't even need to talk to me anymore. Just talk straight to the child. But again, that comes back to growth and maturity. So there are, I guess, a variety of different ways that co-parenting thing works. There are some parents who are best friends, and they still have that connection. They recognize, like, it makes me think of like Will Smith and his first wife, right?
Yeah.
And their dynamic, and Jada and all that, whatever. The relationship that they have, they all co parent together. They're all like one big happy family. They spend holidays and birthdays together and do all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? That's one dynamic. And then they have the co parents that are cool. We can connect, we can communicate, but we're not hanging out. We're not like buddy buddy. And then there's the co parents that literally just do the bare minimum, just to keep the child alive. We're just doing the bare minimum, right?
Hmm.
But a lot of times, the partners, especially if you're trying to go into the dating world, people will be like, "Oh, you got a baby mama, baby daddy. Oh, I don't even want to deal with that trauma." Like, but what if it's not? Like, we have a healthy relationship. There's not drama. We don't have. But most people assume. because you have this extra person that you're carrying along that is going to be full of drama.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. I'm gonna tell you the real truth. Okay. Let me tell you the real truth. Okay. The fact that y'all got a kid together means he can go ahead and, at any given time and hit that again.
That
That's
is
what we
not true. That is
listen.
not
Listen.
true.
Listen.
I can speak from experience. That is not
No.
true.
Listen. I totally listen. I get it. I get it. I've never experienced that either. But in the mentality of
The
some
mindset.
people,
Okay, right. I
in
can see
some
that.
people's mindset, that's how they look at it. And in some cases, that's how the baby daddy may look at it to the point where he doesn't respect your relationships. He
Right.
doesn't respect your thing you got going on. And some people you may get lost in the sauce in that because it was good. You know, when y'all was good, y'all was good. When y'all ain't, y'all wasn't. It was toxic. But then every now and again, you think about the good times and you try to make it work. But you know, y'all can't be because it was too toxic. So you got somebody else that's good and that's treating you. So now you getting that love and affection, that treating, that unapologetic, non-toxic love from somebody else. Meanwhile, you getting a hot, steamy, hey, let's go ahead and kick it kind of thing with the ex. You're getting the best of both worlds, but now you're doing it dirty.
Yeah, no, that's not respect. That's not
It's
respecting
it's
the
not, but
relationship boundaries.
dynamic, but it's not respecting the relationship boundary. But one, that's what happens. Two, that has had happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And three, um, and that's where the lack of trust comes in for a lot of people.
Of
Either
course.
you in it, or you listening to somebody, or you watching somebody go through it. And then
I was
as you sitting
watching.
there,
Go
no,
ahead.
as you sitting there, no, as you sitting there, you watching somebody go through it. You like, nah, never me, never me, never me, never me. And then so when it comes up around and it comes your way, you like, nah, I'm good. You ain't finna do me like so and so did my homegirl or my
Right.
homeboy. And it's like, bruh, not everybody's about that life, but
But there was like a social media post on, maybe it was in a group I was in or some, I don't know, somewhere on social media. They were talking about, the person was talking about how their partner has an ex and they have a child together and they do sleepovers. Like the partner and the ex are sleeping over at the ex's house. And I was like, in what world would that be necessary? Like, I understand having a connection with your ex, but I don't think there would be any circumstance where it would be necessary to have a sleepover at your ex's house with a new partner. Like, no, you can't make that make sense. Mm-mm.
I mean, you can.
Mm-mm. No, you can't.
I tell you, this is how you can, right? So I'm the ex, right? Or I'm the
Mm.
okay. I'm okay. I'm a, for all
Make it make
individuals.
sense, Mike. Make it make sense.
I'm the ex, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the new partner. The
Mm-hmm.
vibe between me and her is good.
Mm-hmm.
He a little freaky, you know. There's some extra activities that takes place between the three of us.
No, no, no. The new partner is not part of the sleepover. It's just the two previous partners.
And the kids,
Yeah.
I
See,
wasn't. Listen. I was in that situation. That was hard. That I ain't gonna lie. That part right there was hard for me. I was
I
like,
just don't. Why would you need to have a sleepover? Drop the kid off, say your hellos, goodbyes, hangouts, and then take your butt home. That just makes sense to me. I don't feel.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That was tricky for
No,
me
let's get
though.
an
I'm
Uber.
not,
I'll come pick you up.
yeah, that was very hard for me. That was very hard for me. I didn't like that dynamic at all. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was very uncomfortable. I was like, it ain't making sense to me. So it don't make sense to me whatsoever. Like you
No.
dropping the kid off, but you want to stay the night with the kid at your ex's house
Mhm.
with your ex.
That is disrespectful of the present relationship, in my opinion.
Well, very much so. I agree. I cannot disagree. I can't find any way to not agree on that. Yeah, that is very much so.
But the person was just like, and they had been doing this for some time, and I'm like, No, the first time I would have been like, yeah, this isn't working. You obviously still have some stuff y'all need to work out. So I'm gonna go. But everybody's different.
No, everybody is different. I'm just trying to understand, like, how do you, like, okay, cool. Here we go. Let's take this. Let's give it a 3 minute. Let's give it a 3 minute clock time. I'm gonna clock myself on this. We're gonna give ourselves 3 minutes, right? We're gonna give
Uh,
ourselves 3 minutes,
okay.
and we're gonna try to sell that to each other on how that makes sense. Because
I can't. I
I
can't even
know
pretend to
we
sell it.
got we got to try. We got to try because it needs some sort of justification because I need to understand how that works. All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3, go. So, how do I justify my ex sleeping over and
During
my girlfriend
visitation. Hmm.
and my girlfriend's not here with the kids? How do I justify? Trying to see how do I make it sound okay to her while I still have a girlfriend when this is all said and done? Because chances are that's not going to happen.
I have
So,
nothing.
like, she says she wants to come over. No, it's kind of like us trying to do a family thing. Mm, that's out of the window.
Mm-mm.
All right.
You could do a
So
family thing during the day. You don't have to
yeah,
be a sleepover.
yeah. There's that. All right. So then, let me see.
She don't have transportation. I will hook her up.
She don't have transport. She came over drunk.
We can give her transportation back to her house.
Okay. Um,
Tuck her in, make sure she's okay, hydrated, all that good
we
stuff.
got a minute. We got a minute and 50 something seconds. So, like Jordan, we got to find a way to make this make sense
It
because otherwise,
doesn't. You can't.
we got to find a way to make this make sense. No, seriously, we got to find a way to make this make sense because this is puzzling to me because I'm like I'm all for different dynamics. I'm a disruptor.
People watching, if you have any input on what scenarios this would make sense to you, please leave it in the comments so we can find some sense in this because for me, as any
I'm
part of the parties, as the parent that's now no longer in the relationship, the ex, the girlfriend, the new person, it doesn't make sense across the board. It
new
doesn't make any
boyfriend,
sense.
new boyfriend. Let's see in the new boyfriend category. He's not gonna be okay with that. No guy's gonna be okay with that. No girlfriends, no current girlfriend would be okay with that. So my question is between the two willing participants, why and how does that make sense? Because listen, when it
There's
happened to me,
no
you know,
reason.
listen. When it happened to me, it still didn't make sense to me. I was still baffled. So let me get this straight. 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 You finna go take your kids to your baby daddy's house. They gonna stay the night, and you gonna stay the night too. Where you sleeping at? In the living room with who? The kids.
If you're trying to make sure that the kid is okay, why even have them spend the night if you don't trust that person?
That point very much true. So okay, cool. There's that. Right, and we got 17. We got 17 seconds, and it's a start. It sounds like you know what? It's gonna be an epic fail. There's no way that's okay. No, there's no way that's okay.
There's
There's
nothing.
no way that's okay. There's no way that's okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Nah, we done. We're done.
No.
We're done.
Okay, so with
Yeah.
that, wrapping it up, wrapping it, putting it in a nice little bow, we talked about maintaining relationships with your exes, return of the ex, how you navigate that as the ex, as the new partner, as the person in the relationship with their ex. For the people watching, if you have any questions or have any experience with that, please feel free to leave comments below. Mike, do you have any last thoughts on this topic?
Nah, that last one was a doozy because I'm still trying to think how does that work?
Just
Like how do you justify that? And I'm a very free spirited person, and I'm understanding
yeah,
in every way possible. There's no way that's
yeah,
okay. There's no way that makes sense to me. No way that makes
no.
no way that's like nah, bro. Y'all getting something going on. Like, yeah, nah. There's no way that makes any sense. Oh God.
They're stressing. It's okay. It's okay, Mike.
No,
It's
because I was
okay.
in that situation. I'm really like, I'm trying to think to myself, how did I navigate that? I was upset. I was really upset at that person too for it.
Understandably
And I'm
so.
just like,
And so wait, so when they told you this, they were just calm, cool, and collected, like, hey.
Yeah, I'm
This is
like,
what's happening. Just
it's,
wanted to let you know.
I'm like, yeah, nah, son, nah, son. I was not. You know what? You know what that was? It's okay. You do you. I'ma do me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So in that scenario, that's okay. In
Because
the
you're releasing it all together.
Yeah, it's like you do you. I'ma do me. When we together, we together. When we not, we not. We're good. That's the only way I'm selling that. That's the only way I'm selling that. Because you acting that way, this is the kind of treatment you gonna get. 100%.
Mm.
There's no way for that to sound good. There's no way. No way. No way, fam. No way. No way. But with that being said, like Jordan said, please leave something in the comments. We would definitely, possibly, depending on how many people leave something in the comments, we can go back to it and then we're circling back to this. If there's more than 5 people leaving something in
Yeah.
the comments, then we're gonna go back to it. And for the next episode, then we'll have you guys come on and we can just talk about it in a big
Come talk to us.
We'll talk about it in a big powwow. Cause boy, ain't no way. Listen, if you can sell it to me, I'll give you $20. If you can sell it to me, I'll give you $20. I'll
$20.
I'll cash out you $20 right now if you can sell it to me because there's no way, no way that's okay. But
So to clarify, if you can sell to Mike the idea of two exes spending the night at each other's houses for this because they share a child and one of the exes has a new partner, if you can sell them why that is necessary, why that idea makes sense, Mike will cash app you $20. Okay?
it may not be a lot.
Make it make sense.
It may not be a lot, but hey, $20 is good. It used to get you a gas tank, but now it'll probably get you one meal at
Well,
McDonald's because the way
yeah.
prices is nowadays. But either way, it's better than nothing. So let's get it going. Sell that to me because there's no way that's happening. There's no way that could be sold to me, and for me to think that that is
That's
okay.
acceptable. Yeah, make it make
No, no
sense.
way, no
So,
way.
with that being said, maintaining a relationship with an ex can bring you a sense of closure. It can bring a continued relationship. It can bring mutual support, right? Having that person around and they know you, right? But it is important to consider whether that relationship is healthy. That's super important. And whether
Hmm.
that relationship is respectful. That's that other part of it. Respectful to both parties before deciding to maintain that relationship. Not only the parties involved, but also any future parties that come into the situation later, right? So, with
Yeah.
that being said, thank you for joining us on the Beyond the Sum of Our Parts. We look forward to leaning in with y'all in 2 weeks. Your comments, please let us know what you think about maintaining relationships with your exes, about our crazy scenario that we experienced. I thought it was random, but apparently, Mike, you experienced it firsthand too. So, make it
I've
make sense.
experienced I've experienced a lot of things firsthand. So the more we talk about these things, I can go and tell you a lot of things I've experienced firsthand. There's a lot. But listen, the world is messy. I've
And
experienced a lot of things firsthand that I did not care for. Didn't make any sense to me at the time. Yeah.
but you
But
just
anyways,
lean into it and find that lesson. That's the thing. Lean into
once
it, find the
again,
lesson, right?
life lessons, life lessons
Yes. So
all
with that
day.
being said, we will see you on the next episode of Beyond the Sum of Our Parts. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.